What is the primary role of the Data Protection Ombudsman in Finland? A. Enforcing employment laws. B. Interpreting the GDPR. C. Overseeing compliance with privacy laws. D. Prosecuting data breaches. Correct answer. C. Overseeing compliance with privacy laws. Under the GDPR, what constitutes personal data? A. Data relating to a legal entity. B. Information relating to an identified or identifiable natural person. C. Publicly available information. D. Data collected anonymously. Correct answer. B. Information relating to an identified or identifiable natural person. What is the significance of May 25, 2018, in the context of data protection in the EU? A. The date the GDPR was proposed. B. The date the GDPR came into full effect. C. The deadline for EU countries to enact their own data protection laws. D. The date the Data Protection Directive was repealed. Correct answer. B. The date the GDPR came into full effect. Which Finnish law specifically addresses the protection of privacy in working life? A. The Act on the Protection of Privacy in Working Life. B. The Personal Data Act. C. The Data Protection Act. D. The Act on Electronic Communication Services. Correct answer. A. The Act on the Protection of Privacy in Working Life. What does the right to data portability under the GDPR allow individuals to do? A. Request deletion of personal data. B. Receive personal data in a structured format. C. Object to the processing of personal data. D. Demand immediate data correction. Correct answer. B. Receive personal data in a structured format. How does the GDPR define a data controller? A. An entity that processes data on behalf of the controller. B. The subject of the personal data. C. An entity that determines the purposes and means of processing personal data. D. A regulatory authority overseeing data protection. Correct answer. C. An entity that determines the purposes and means of processing personal data. Under Finnish law, when is processing employee email communication considered lawful? A. With employee consent only. B. For legitimate interests, with proper notification. C. At any time, without restrictions. D. Only by order of a court. Correct answer. B. For legitimate interests, with proper notification. What are the consequences for GDPR violations in Finland? A. Reprimand only. B. Possible imprisonment. C. Fines up to €20 million or 4% of the annual global turnover. D. Automatic compensation to affected individuals. Correct answer. C. Fines up to €20 million or 4% of the annual global turnover. In the context of privacy law, what is a data subject? A. An entity that processes personal data. B. The individual whose personal data is processed. C. A government agency. D. A data protection officer. Correct answer. B. The individual whose personal data is processed. What role does the Act on Electronic Communication Services play in Finnish privacy law? A. Regulates commercial practices. B. Ensures the confidentiality of electronic communications. C. Governs the collection of health data. D. Provides guidelines for educational institutions. Correct answer. B. Ensures the confidentiality of electronic communications. Under the GDPR, what does the right to be forgotten entail? A. The right to have certain data deleted upon request. B. The right to prevent data from being collected. C. The right to anonymity online. D. The right to transfer data to another controller. Correct answer. A. The right to have certain data deleted upon request. What is the purpose of the Data Protection Act in Finland? A. To replace the GDPR. B. To complement and specify the application of the GDPR. C. To enforce employment laws. D. To regulate online communication exclusively. Correct answer. B. To complement and specify the application of the GDPR. What does the legislative branch of the US government do in the context of privacy? A. Enforces privacy laws. B. Interprets privacy laws. C. Enacts laws impacting privacy. D. Regulates privacy standards. Correct answer. C. Enacts laws impacting privacy. In Finland, who is responsible for enforcing the Data Protection Act and the GDPR? A. The Ministry of Justice. B. The Data Protection Ombudsman. C. The European Data Protection Board. D. Individual companies' data protection offices. Correct answer. B. The Data Protection Ombudsman. What is the legal basis for processing personal data under the GDPR? A. The data subject's consent only. B. Legitimate interest, consent, contractual necessity, legal obligation, vital interests, or public task. C. A court order. D. The data controller's discretion. Correct answer. B. Legitimate interest, consent, contractual necessity, legal obligation, vital interests, or public task. How does the Act on the Protection of Privacy in Working Life regulate the monitoring of employees in Finland? A. Allows unrestricted monitoring by employers. B. Prohibits any form of monitoring. C. Requires employee consent for any monitoring. D. Sets strict conditions and transparency requirements for monitoring. Correct answer. D. Sets strict conditions and transparency requirements for monitoring. What does the right to object under the GDPR allow individuals to do? A. Refuse the collection of their personal data. B. Object to certain types of data processing. C. Demand a halt to all data processing immediately. D. Opt out of data collection for marketing purposes only. Correct answer. B. Object to certain types of data processing. In what circumstances can personal data be processed without the data subject's consent under the GDPR? A. Never. Consent is always required. B. When processing is necessary for a contract, legal obligation, vital interests, public task, or legitimate interests. C. Only in cases of national security. D. When the data controller deems it necessary. Correct answer. B. When processing is necessary for a contract, legal obligation, vital interests, public task, or legitimate interests. What are special categories of personal data under the GDPR? A. Data that is particularly secure. B. Information about criminal convictions and offenses. C. Personal data revealing racial or ethnic origin, political opinions, religious or philosophical beliefs, or trade union membership, and the processing of genetic data, biometric data for uniquely identifying a natural person, data concerning health or data concerning a natural person's sex life or sexual orientation. D. Data used for marketing purposes. Correct answer. C. Personal data revealing racial or ethnic origin, political opinions, religious or philosophical beliefs, or trade union membership, and the processing of genetic data, biometric data for uniquely identifying a natural person, data concerning health or data concerning a natural person's sex life or sexual orientation. What mechanism under the GDPR is designed to ensure a consistent application of data protection across the EU? A. The Data Protection Directive. B. The One-Stop Shop Mechanism. C. National Data Protection Laws. D. The European Court of Justice. Correct answer. B. The One-Stop Shop Mechanism.